What's your experience, Mama Boga?
Yeah. It's been fun with grandmas and mommies. We have learned a lot. We made good friends, people who help us. I want to take this opportunity to thank my daughter, Daniela Kolite Inda, for being the occupational therapist in Dodowa, helping people with disability and special children. So this is what I want to tell those who have children with special needs.
That's a good one from Eugene Zuta, Mama Song, a special release from Mother's this Mother's Day. Did you hear the name he started with? Mawo. And I had a feeling we were going to hear Auntie Grace inside there. So, Grace, dear. And Mr. Ohene-Effah, Michael Ohene-Effah is with us in the studio. You should have seen him. Na oboni tinko, nyom na fine. We're just about to get into our Flourish series this morning with Michael Ohene-Effah, and would love for you to stay with us. I mean, just for a moment, because what we are about to talk about, I think, is going to stay with you for a very long time. Now, all through this month of May, Sunny FM brings you Flourish series. We're having real conversations, real tools, real talk about what it actually takes to not just get through life, but to truly flourish as a woman. And we're starting today with something I know every single one of you has experienced, or you are probably experiencing it right now. It is conflict at work. Conflict at work. I mean, that moment when something is said in a meeting and it just does not sit right with you, or when you and a colleague have this tension between you and nobody has addressed it, you just both pretend everything is fine. So you see each other, oh, good morning, I had to say I'm fine, and but you all know there's an issue. Or when you feel like your voice is not being heard and you're not quite sure whether to speak up or just to let it go. And sometimes you let it go and it builds until it's affecting how you feel on Sunday nights because you have to go to work on Monday. It's affecting how you walk into the office on your Monday mornings, how much of yourself you're actually bringing to your work. And that's what mismanaged conflict can do. It is quiet, it is gradual, but it can keep the most brilliant, most capable person from stepping fully into what they are meant to be at work. And so joining us this morning is Michael Ohene-Effah. I'm so glad he said yes to kicking off the series with us right after we had Dr. Cecilia Tutu Dankwa. We're going to talk about how to handle conflict at work in a way that is smart, in a way that is healthy, in a way that keeps your relationships intact in the workplace so you have your peace of mind. We are live on Facebook. You can also join us on YouTube, yes, and then you can watch us on our app. We are live. If you have any question, because as we are speaking, you're like, yes, Jennifer, I'm currently in a conflict zone at my workplace. You can share that scenario with us. 0540 130-684. Michael is here to give us the tools. You know, when Leader Free come on Sunny, you're getting the tools you need to get things right in your life. Michael, I almost said Happy Mother's Day. Michael, good morning. Welcome to Sunny 88.7 FM. Yeah.
Good morning. And it's a joy to be here as always.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. The new swag.
Yes.
Charlie, listeners, you should see Jennifer. This year, grow.
No, this year I came far.
The level don't change.
We are here this year. We're here.
Yes. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be back.
So let's go. I mean, how did you feel when we reached out to you and said this is one of the things we want to tackle at this time this year on the Flourish series?
Well, it's as always, I think I commend you and the team highly for some of the areas that you support listeners and viewers with. I think in the last 3 or 4 years, we've been on the couples retreat and we've shared stuff that will make couples work better together, enjoy their relationships and marriages. And I think conflict is one of them, how to handle it so that there's harmony at home. And we spend almost 2/3 of our wake up time in the office. And so when there's conflict in the workspace, it affects us majorly in a way that sometimes we underestimate. And so I think I said, yeah, they get it. That was my aspect, because if we can support people to enjoy work, enjoy colleagues, and have harmony at the workplace, I think it will go a long way to improve our overall well-being, reduce our stress, and help us to enjoy life a bit more. Yeah. So it's a very important call, and I'm
very
glad we are
important
having it
call.
on a Monday morning.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody says, hey, you put this topic there is for me. Michael, I'm going to give you the floor to take us away on this. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's start with helping people to first of all look at the issue. And so when we say conflict at the workplace, we are looking at a disagreement that arises from a difference in values, in goals, in perceptions, or communication style. So when there's a difference between you and a colleague or colleagues, arising out of a difference in your goals, in your values, in your perceptions, or in your communication style, then there is conflict. And the research says that in our workplaces, there are about 3 types of conflict.
Okay.
Task-related conflict, in terms of what to do at the workplace. And I'm sure we all know colleagues who won't do what they are supposed to do. Get the job done, and they are just, perambulating all over the place and not get the job done. That brings conflict. Then we have process-related conflict. This is about how we do the work. So it's not about the what we do, but how we do it. So one colleague says, oh, I would like us to come in on Tuesday. Somebody says, no, I can't come on Tuesday. Let's do it Monday night. So how to do the work itself can generate conflict. One colleague says, this workshop we are going to have, let's have it at Hotel A. Another one says, no, let's do it at Hotel B. So the process involved in the work itself generates conflict. And then the last type is the relationship-related conflict. This is about personal, relational, emotional. I don't like Mr. A because he just rubs me off in the wrong way.
Yeah. Gives me a
Or
wrong
the
vibe.
last time we had a tiff because of this and this. So me, dear, wherever he is, I'm not going to go near him. Relational. Now, that one, the relational one, is the major conflict that we have in the workspace. Not the task, not the process. The relationships, the emotional, unresolved things. And 80% of all workplace conflict will arise from the relational, how we relate with each other. And so we need to pay attention to the relationships. Now, 1995 thereabout, I started my working life in an ad agency not too far from here. And there was one of the managers that didn't treat me too well. So as we do in Ghana, I was a very young boy who just started work, and this manager is not treating me too well. I could not face her. But then I complained to everybody in the company. Have you seen how this one? Charlie? And that is what causes us a lot of pain at the workplace. The book says it's called conversational debt. The debt that we are not paying because we are not talking. We are not having the difficult conversations. So we complain when there's an issue between you and a colleague. You complain to everybody but the colleague.
Yeah.
And so the issue is not resolved. When you see the colleague, hi, hello. Then you go to the next person, Charlie, last week you should have seen what this person did. And so that conversational debt is what brings about the relational type of conflict.
Okay.
And that is what keeps most of us unhappy, unfulfilled, unsatisfied at the workplace. So we need to have difficult conversation. We need to learn to have difficult conversations. We need to share our truths. We need to be comfortable with discussing uncomfortable issues with people so that we can clear it off our chest and move on. And this inability for most of us to do it is the cause of a lot of workplace conflict. Now, as Ghanaians, as Africans, now between South America, Africa, and Asia, this is psychology of physiology. They say that we are what they call high context society, meaning we place emphasis on relationships. We are communal in our thinking, collectivist in our thinking. And I think that sense of communal prevents most of us from actually facing conflict, because our communities abhor conflict. We don't celebrate it. We don't welcome it. We shun upon it. We try very hard to bury the hatchet. And I think we all grew up with that character or attitude that anytime I have a call, oh, yeah, let's shelve it, let's go. But it hasn't been resolved. And so it's eating you up. It is interfering in your relationship. And yet we are unwilling to face it.
Michael, would you also say that it's beyond just the cultural thing, but even as Christians, we have a tendency to not want to address issues and say, you know what, it's okay, I'm fine, I'm forgiving you, and yet I say
it's the most
issue.
dangerous one when we Christianize conflict. And you can see that in most of our churches, between this ministry and that ministry, within this ministry, intra-ministry, inter-ministry, there is conflict because we don't like to sit and have the difficult conversations. Oh, Farmer Nyame, give it to God. Let's pray about it. Let's commit it to God. Yes, the spiritual is there, but when you finish, you must do the work. You must do the physical bit. So you are very right that because Ghana is a majority Christian country and most people tend to religionize a lot of physical things, we would rather pray or fast for 3 days than have a 15-minute conversation with that colleague who is worrying us and clear the issue. So you are very right about we deferring to religion and avoiding having the difficult conversations that we must have. Somebody is not doing his or her work. He is making the team slack. Anytime you give that person a responsibility, a task in the office, they don't do it. And yet we say, oh, let's pray for her. Let's pray for her. You know, when she came, you know, during her interview, during her interview, you know, she shared some things about this. So well, let's commit it to God. And we keep praying for this sister or this brother for 3 years.
5 years.
Exactly. And we are not talking to this person. And we go round the problem rather than facing the problem. And so anytime this person needs to do a task, we give it to somebody else. And this person is just floating, perambulating in the office and can't really be held accountable for any one particular task. And we are all going around her or him, and then nobody is really talking to this person, and we keep just, you know, let's pray for him, let's pray for him. So there's a place for prayer, and there's a place for us to resolve or be equipped with the conflict resolution tools to make the workplace a more peaceful and harmonious place for all of us.
All right, please go ahead, Mr. Effah.
Yeah.
Today,
Right.
dear, we're listening to you.
Good. So what is the
impact?
impact? What is the impact when we don't? I don't have Ghana data, but I'm going to give you data from the US in terms of what this cost us. Now, the data shows that 85% of employees experience workplace conflict. Now, that's very high.
85.
85. 8 out of 10. We can't have 0.5. So 8 out of 10, you know, people would experience workplace conflict. Now, listen to this. And you are a manager here. Managers, according to CPP, the CPP is the company that publishes the Myers-Briggs assessment. If you know Myers-Briggs, the MBTI, they say that managers spend 2.5 hours every week dealing with conflict. Now that's very high. Not doing work, just dealing with conflict between A and B, between this department and that department, between drivers and officers, between, you know, two officers and that officers. Now that's costing us a lot, you know. Now listen to this one. Poorly handled conflict leads to disengagement, stress, and high turnover. Now most people will quit work because of a toxic workplace culture or atmosphere or this. It's not because they don't like the technical work that they are doing, but it's just so toxic that, Charlie, I need to find. Of course, today some people too will leave work because they have, you know, higher financial, you know, reward going forward, so they will leave. But most people will leave because of a toxic workplace culture. They don't like the team leader or the head of department. They don't like another colleague. They are hustling them. They are making their life difficult, and so they would leave. Now, look at this one. Another study, and I follow a guy called Razzetti. Now, he says that 43% of professionals spend 2 weeks or more each year ruminating on unresolved problems.
Wow.
43, almost half of all professionals. 2 weeks every year of the 50 is it 57 weeks of no 52 weeks
52.
we spent 2 of them just ruminating on unresolved conflict. Now, instead of people speaking up at the workplace, what we do, as I did when I was a very young advertising sales executive, is that 77% of us will complain to others about the conflict instead of resolving it. Now 63% will do extra or unnecessary work because they have not addressed the root of the conflict. And then 57% will just keep ruminating over the conflict instead of solving it, instead of having the difficult conversation. They just keep playing the thing in their mind day after day, week after week, and not working. And then 49%, almost half, get angry. And so a lot of people are going to work very angry. And I think it is showing in our driving. Most of us, the thought, like you said earlier, the thought of just going to work makes you angry.
Yeah.
And so already before setting off for work,
You vex already.
You vex already. Your pressure is up. You are angry. This not again. Not this team. Not this guy.
Manager again.
I don't want to deal with finance. Because the finance boys, they are
slow. When you take the voice slow.
But all of this don't resolve the conflict. It just drains us. It drains our energy. It wastes our time, and it drains our focus.
So Michael,
we need to do something about having the difficult conversations that will make our workplaces more harmonious, more peaceful, and more enjoyable.
And we're going to get into that in a bit. Mom is listening. She says, good morning. Thank you for this discourse. What do you do when you find that you've done the Christian thing to make an excuse for the offender and pray and believe you're forgiving? But when you remember that issue, even after a long time, you still feel hurt or cheated and sometimes get upset. I'm sure maybe as Michael goes on to how we need to address these conflicts, you may find some answers. Mommy.
Yeah. It means that it hasn't been resolved. The fact that it still causes you pain means there hasn't been closure. So you need to achieve closure, mommy. All right, we'll handle that. Okay, so what are the principles? We are talking about how to handle it professionally, how to handle it well. Number 1 principle, separate people from the problem.
Okay.
And if you can do that, it is one of the major things that will help you to deal with conflict. Even in our marriages, separate people from the problem. Focus on the issue. Don't focus on the personality. If you don't do that, you will cause a lot of pain between the two of you. Because when you focus on somebody, they feel attacked. And it does not open the door to discussing solutions. And some of us even extend it to the ethnicity of our colleague. As for these people, dear, that's how they are. We brand them, we tar them with a brush. And that becomes a jaundice that prevents you from seeing the issue. Because you see the ethnicity, then you see the colleague. Where is the solution? It does not help you to resolve the issue. So separate people from the problem. What is the issue? The person, is it a competence issue or a commitment issue? Deal with that. Don't deal with, sometimes we even attack the university the person attended. Tech boys there.
A disco boys there.
And once you get into those kinds of things, and where you happen to have gone to the same university, you now look at the hall, as for this hall people, as for that hall people. So
or even as for you women, dear, or you men, dear, ego, emotions.
Gender.
Okay.
Exactly. So separate people from the problem. Don't look at the problem through their personality. Once you can do that, first principle helps you. Second one, seek to understand before responding. Seek to understand before responding. What is the problem? What is your colleague's main issue? Have you understood them from their perspective and their point of view? Don't jump into conclusions from a pre-arranged folder that you have in your system. You pull the folder, you pull the file, you give it to them.
Steph, we the women, we know how to do that. We can pull the folders.
No, I've said it at the couples review. Women have the largest storage, it's like 1 trillion terabyte. Dating back to 30 years. events and dates.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all the files
A
have been
second.
stored nicely in the folder.
Everything.
This
Labeled.
exactly. This is
Yeah.
what you did last 3 years during our wedding. I remember, this thing during our wedding reception, and then you start pulling. So, seek to understand. Don't pull your folder and say, ask for. And sometimes we brand people by even the departments that they are in. Ask for the tech IT people, ask for drivers, ask for accountants, ask for marketing boys, ask for sales, so apart from the ethnicity and others, sometimes we box people even by the department, and that prevents us from seeing the problem. So here you need to learn to do active listening. If you can learn to actively listen to your colleagues and find out their pain point, the issue, you can resolve just about any conflict. A lot of the time we don't. So as they are talking, you are already formulating your response, and you are putting them in certain boxes. That prevents you from seeing what the issues are. That's why I said all problems can be assessed using two S's: competence and commitment. And in our part of the world, you realize that some people have personal issues that sometimes you need to help them to resolve. Otherwise, it interferes with the work process. So what is the problem? If you can listen actively for 2 minutes without interrupting, without your mind going off in directions, you can arrive at the root of the problem and help to resolve it. Number 3 principle: manage emotions intentionally. Yesterday I was teaching my children in church that between stimulus, and this is something that Stephen Covey teaches, between stimulus and response, in that there is a choice. You have a choice between the stimulus. Your colleague has been harsh to you. They've sent you an email you don't want. They've spoken to you in a tone you don't like. That's stimulus. Between your response, there's a choice. So choose. And what you can do in that choice is to count 5 to 1 backwards, to give you some time to be sane, so you can choose your response. So don't just, they immediately come in, then pam.
Fire for fire.
So pause, don't react impulsively. Think about the issue and choose your response. Ask yourself, which dominant emotion am I going through now? And how can I decouple myself from the emotion so I can actually resolve this issue? So name the emotion that you are going through and then choose a response. Why am I feeling angry at the fact that this new national service person, I asked them to do something, they haven't done it? Is it the action or my interpretation of the action? Or it goes deeper than just the act that they did not bring what I asked them to do? So once you can get to it, you can now choose how to address it. Instead of just going ballistic and saying, how dare you? You are a national service person. Do you know who I am? I called you for 30 minutes. I don't... because you are interpreting that action from a very poor national service person differently, which is now touching at the core of something you have not resolved. Then stay fact-based. Principle number 4.
So on that point where you're saying that you need to process, give yourself some time, name the emotion you're feeling. Could you decide to go quiet, maybe not respond, give yourself a few days, get back, or you have to process there and then, give a response there and then, so at least they hear back from you?
It depends. I would say it depends on 2 things. 1, your personality, and 2, the personality you are dealing with.
Okay.
So judge the 2, assess the 2, and decide whether you would like to take a breather, come back and deal with it, or even 3 days later when tempests have died down and we are all now saner, we can now have a chat over coffee or cocoa and then discuss the issue. What is your own personality type? Now remember that because you have not resolved it, in that 3-day period, you will not be okay.
That's true.
And the issue has been left unattended to. So it will still interfere in the relationship as you are taking your gorgeous time to now deal with the issue. So it depends.
Okay.
But all the research says that choosing the response dealing with the issue devoid of personality attacks can help you to resolve the issue, no matter the personalities that are involved.
And I also want to ask, how much time would you say is too much time to want to address? Say you're processing. How much time do you think by this time you're like, no, this is taking too long? You two have to talk.
It's a very important question, but I will not be able to answer and give you like a specific window. I think it will depend on the issue that you are dealing with. For instance, if you are doctors, you can't live too much because lives will be at stake whilst the issue goes unresolved. If you are, let's say, drivers, and let's say one officer or one colleague is not doing the right thing, there's safety, there's lives at stake. You cannot live. So I think it depends on the issue that you are dealing with. Some issues are not life-threatening. And so you can have the luxury of giving yourself a bit of time. But in some industries, I mean, imagine a pilot and a co-pilot who have a conflict and they decide that, you know what,
I don't want to get on that plane. That plane, dear, minus me.
Exactly. Or the pilots are having issues with the air stewards, and they decide that, you know, we will not deal with this issue, but let's get to London.
Then they'll say, oh, die, be died. Then we the passengers, no.
Or let's get to London before we resolve the issue. You see that lives are at stake. So I think it depends on what we are dealing with. If you are miners and you've gone 3,000 feet under, you are in a shaft working, and there's something going on, you can't say that, you know, when we get up there, we shall deal with the issue. You may have to tackle it, but use the principles in tackling the issue.
Okay.
All right. So principle number 5 is aim for resolution, not victory. There's a popular saying, do you want to be right or you want to be happy? So a lot of the time you want to show power. You want to show that, I've told them. Exactly. But that will not solve the problem. And so aim for resolution, not victory. Don't aim to show, even when you are a senior colleague, don't aim to show that you have more sense and you have more power and you have more authority, so you must put them in their right and proper place. Remember that you are going to work with this colleague. Whatever it is that is their role in the office, you need them. Even if it's a cleaner, you need them. And so it is not about victory, it's about handling it professionally so that we can move on with the work. So 5 principles. Number 1, separate people from the problem. Number 2, seek to understand before responding. Number 3, manage emotions intentionally. Number 4, stay fact-based. Number 5, aim for resolution, not victory. Principles. Now, what must you do? What must you do practically?
We're live on Facebook. Unfortunately, our YouTube stream is a bit slow, so we're not on YouTube at the moment, but we'll upload it right after the interview. So you can join us on Facebook. Also download the app Sunny TV GH, and you can follow us. You can drop your comments below the Facebook feed if you have a question, there's an experience or a situation you're in right now you'd like for Michael to touch on it a bit for you to see how you can move forward so you can flourish. This Flourish series this month. We are happy to hear from you. You can send a voice note. You can type out your message 0540 130 684. Go ahead, Michael.
So practically 5 steps and we are done. Number 1 is prepare. Conflict will come in so far as you are working with people. You must be mature about it. So when there's a conflict, 1, clarify facts. Identify your objective. What is your objective? Don't just go ballistic simply because you want to clear things off your chest and get better. You can have an emotional release, but that does not solve the problem. So prepare for whatever it is that you want to tackle. Number 2, engage constructively. Use neutral language. Not you. You never ask for your people. And even the last accountant, that's the same thing. What has the last accountant's conduct got to do with me?
Pattern.
So use neutral language and then choose the right time and place. So back to the question you asked earlier on. Choose the right time and place. Is this the right time to talk about this issue? Sunny FM, you are out there in Peninsula, you have 300 people that you need to take care of. Is that the time to correct a colleague who has done something? When your clients are there and they are watching you. So choose the right time and place. Should it be in the morning? Should it be after work? Should it be over lunch? Should you do it in front of, today we are all moving to shared offices.
Yeah.
Should you do it when about 6 other colleagues are in the room? So choose the right time because it aids in the resolution process. That's step number 2. Number 3 is listening actively. Active listening. Listening without judgment. And I teach this: listen with your eyes and listen with your ears. Meaning you are paying attention to the person as they are talking. Watch their mannerisms. Watch the dominant emotions they are going through as they are talking about the issue. Don't interrupt. Learn to let people speak their truth or share their truth with you. Don't interrupt. Some people interrupt you mid-sentence, then they hatch on to something, then they go off on a tangent. Meanwhile, you were going to Labadi, they're taking the issue to circle. So it doesn't get exactly. It doesn't get to hear people.
Okay.
It's part of the conversation debt that we are experiencing at the workplace. Then acknowledge their perspective. You may not agree, but acknowledge it. Yeah, I can appreciate that you felt embarrassed when I came to the office and said this. Maybe that is how come you haven't done this and haven't done that. Just acknowledge what they went through.
Okay.
And then you can help them to come out of the situation. But a lot of the time, we don't even acknowledge the other person's perspective. We think that, who are you? You are just a national service person. Who are you to feel this way? Do you know what I went through when I started, when I was your age? Do you know? So you don't even you don't share in their pain. You don't acknowledge that they are going through something. So acknowledge their perspective. Then from there, we can begin to now explore solutions. So that's step 4. Explore solutions. What is the way forward?
Okay.
You have just told me that you are not good with Excel, which is why you've taken 1 week to do this spreadsheet that I asked you to do. What is the solution? If you go and tell the person, as my boys will say, you have not resolved the issue. Because the person says, I'm not good in Excel. And you are just insulting me, insulting the university I went to, insulting the hall I was in. And then you go out as a manager, bang the door. Have you resolved the issue?
No.
Have you agreed on what I must do next?
No.
So next 2 weeks,
It
you
will
will
happen
handle
again.
exactly. It will happen again. So what is the solution? You are either going for a short course, a training, or if any task related to Excel comes, you give it to another person. And you give this other person what is in their area of strength. So explore the solution. Focus on shared goals. Generate options collaboratively. I want to hear from you. What do you think? How should we resolve this issue going forward? You see, don't throw the solution down. In Ghana, it's like the senior people must always talk, and the junior people must always take instructions. So it appears as if they don't have, in quote, sense. So explore the options collaboratively, and then the final step is agree a follow up. That is where the resolution lies, and that is what will prevent future headache. How are we going to work together going forward? What is the agreed way forward? If you don't agree, you have not done anything. And chances are that issue, that conflict will reoccur. It will rear its ugly head again. So define the actions you are going to take. We are agreeing that because you are not good in Excel, all Excel work will go to Officer B. You are very good with Word, and so when we have any proposal and everything, you will start off with the Word version, whereas Officer B will now do the budget in Excel. That's the agreed way forward, you see, so that next week everybody knows what they are doing. I don't come back to you and I'm not going round. Boss, when you say boss on Pemasem, because he's always trying to make me look bad. That doesn't solve the issue. All right, and then your job is to monitor progress. When you have agreed on the way forward, regular check-ins, regular check-in. 3 days later, you go to this officer and say, Adjoa, how is it going? Oh, boss, I'm okay. Now I'm fine. I don't need to worry myself too much because you've taken the, or let's say you say, oh, you may do a short course so that you can build your competency in Excel. Now, how is the short course going? Have you enrolled? How is it going? Oh, boss, I like it. Oh, I didn't know you can do this and this in Excel. Now I am picking it up, you see. So monitor, follow up, check in.
Okay.
You can, if it's your own colleague, you can check in and say, how far? How is it? Do you like the way we are? I'm now talking to you now. Do you like the tone of my emails now? Do you know, some people don't like emails. Anytime they see email, they see a demon. Because
That's
they think
true.
you are gathering evidence.
You are sending a query.
Exactly. So some people like the verbal communication. Some people like you to have a chat rather than send an email. You know, so check in with the person. How is it now? You know, or sometimes you say that, look, because we tend to clash, we the heads of department will have a meeting every Monday at 3:00, so that we can agree on how our departments will work together.
Great.
Now, how is that going since we started? Has it reduced the tension and the conflict? Oh, it's working well. I like it now. You see. So, practical steps. Number 1, prepare. Number 2, engage constructively. Number 3, listen actively. Number 4, explore solutions. Number 5, agree and follow up, or agree and follow up on what you want to do.
I think this morning, as you're speaking, I'm gathering that conflict in itself, we should see it as this demon that merely happens. Like we all have to scatter, we have to run because we feel it's going to mess everybody's life up. In addressing or resolving it, actually, the workplace could be more conducive.
Yes. You know, I shared this at one of the couples retreats, that conflict is not a problem. It is poorly managed conflict that is a problem. You know, even twins have disagreements.
Yeah.
Even twins. So, insofar as you are two people, you have different professional backgrounds, different professional competencies, different attitudes, different perceptions. So, anytime you disagree, there's conflict. But it is the poor management of it that causes us the pain and the headaches.
And
so, conflict must be embraced, because you see, conflict gets us to be closer after we have resolved it. You watch in your working life, the colleagues that you had one conflict and you sat down and clarified the issue, they become your closest friends.
I have a testimony on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is the poor way we perceive and handle conflict that causes us to grow apart. Sometimes you don't even talk to a colleague for 7 years.
Wow.
And you both leave the organization and you still meet socially and don't even talk to each other.
Wow.
Because there was an open loop that have not been closed by one simple incident that occurred 7 years ago when we were working together at this place. So conflict must be embraced. Can you make stew with just one vegetable?
No.
Yeah, it is
You
the
need some
different,
more.
okra stew.
And Michael, talking about 7 years, I think what would be sad is if after 7 years you're not talking to this person, you find out that you were misunderstood. There was a miscommunication. It wasn't even both. It was another person who said something, and neither of you got to speak about it. And for 7 years,
You hold on
loggerheads.
to it.
That's
Causing you
sad.
pain,
Yeah.
causing you disengagement, causing you loss of tension in the workplace. I mean, it's official now that the biggest health issue in Ghana is this lifestyle diseases. Where is the lifestyle disease coming from?
Spending a lot of time
It's
at work.
all these relationship issues we are having, the fact that we spend a lot in traffic and we have to swerve 7 Okada riders before we get home. Your blood pressure is up because you are stressed by the time you get home and all that. It's lifestyle diseases now. It's killing us more than non-communicable. So they call that non-communicable diseases.
Yeah.
It's killing us more than epidemics and communicable diseases, because we are not equipping ourselves with the tools to handle these things.
If you're in the office listening to us, I hope that you're picking up a thing or two from Michael so you can start addressing some conflicts in your office. Maybe you're on the way to work. Now you're putting yourself together. How am I going to speak to Kwek? Who am I going to speak to manager? Michael, I have a question for you, but first let's go to this one we have here.
All right.
It says you have a misunderstanding with a colleague and all you wanted was an apology. A middle person wants to resolve the issue, but your colleague boldly says if you're waiting for an apology, it will never come. Do you still have to find a way to resolve this issue?
Yes, because the conflict is not resolved. Now, 2 things are happening here. Why do you need an apology to move on? So, what is your interpretation of the apology? What is in you that makes the apology so important that without that you cannot resolve the conflict? So you need to ask yourself this question: what does an apology mean to you, and how does that connect to a deeper void in your life? Then on the side of the colleague, Why is an apology so difficult for them? How have they been wired to see a simple apology as a grievous thing to do that they won't do it, and will rather live in conflict than have peace of mind by saying, I'm sorry. I apologize to you for what I did last week. So the two people are operating with wires that they don't know. These wires are interfering with the resolution. And it also shows that they have not understood each other. They are dealing with the surface issue, the symptom, rather than the root of the problem. Because if the two of them can get to the root of the problem, it will not be hard. Oh, I misunderstood you. Oh, so that's what you meant, eh? Then, so the two of them need to work on the wires that are interfering in the present. There is a couple that wanted to divorce, so they had gone to court trying to initiate the processes, and they realized that the lawyer was exaggerating the issues. Yeah, so the wife will say something and the lawyer will add like 10 other things to it. And so at some point the other one called the woman, and they had not spoken in years because of conflict. So he was like, are you really the one who said this about me? I said, let me see. Who said that? He said, your lawyer. He said, oh, that's not what I told him. That's not the brief I gave him. So you see, sometimes it is because we have not gotten to the root of the problem. We still are operating with different glasses, eyewear. So he said, so is this what he came to say in court? I said, yes. He said, oh, I didn't say that to him. These are all his own things. And then they realized that the lawyer was playing them. So they said, okay, why don't we take a walk this evening and discuss this matter?
Okay.
Long story short, they came back together.
Lawyer Boca.
Exactly. Oh. So sometimes it is because we are operating from different perspectives. And until we take off the glasses, which is interfering, we will never be able to get to the resolution.
It's episode 2 of the Flourish series, right on Sunny 88.7 FM. And this morning, Michael Ohene-Effah, co-founder of Leader Freak, is touching on managing workplace conflict professionally. If you just joined in, you've been following, you have a question for him, you have some kind of contribution, maybe you've had an experience you want to share with us, you can go ahead, 0540 130 684, 0540 130 684. So Michael, let's say there's a team that works. Now each person is supposed to handle something, but it's noticed that this other person is constantly not showing up for their role, and their work is being handed over to another person by the manager. Maybe let's say it's being handed over to me by you. And I'm beginning to feel that, but Kofi, this is Kofi's work. Now, manager so and so is giving all this thing to me. I'm still getting my salary. Kofi is still walking around. How do I approach this with my manager and talk about it in a way that I can get this issues resolved, so I don't feel like I'm being burdened because he has a conflict with another person in the group?
So that's poor leadership on the part of the manager.
Okay.
Managers must not be afraid of taking hard decisions. And so why is the manager unwilling to get Kofi to do his part of the work? And why is he avoiding a conversation with Kofi and giving Kofi's schedules to Adwoa? So that leadership problem must first be addressed, and then it is okay for Adwoa to voice out her feelings, her pain, and her truth to the manager and say, you know what, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to do. Now you have added 3, 7, 8, 9 to mine. So 2 things: either you take it back or you increase my salary. Now then, for the manager, the issue to work on is Kofi's non-performance a competence issue or a commitment issue? Some people are just not competent, but they won't say it. They don't know how to do the work, but they will not say it. They will just be dancing around and be doing praise the Lord, instead of getting to, and doing the work. And so competence, that they don't have the competence. So you either build their capacity or you reschedule. You give them another schedule in line with their strengths. That's strengths-based leadership. Now, is it a commitment issue? Some people are very competent, but they'll just not do the work. They float from one office to the other. Hey, have you heard? Hey, Jenny, me say yesterday in church. By the time they leave your office, 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
And their schedules are still waiting. Some people also don't know how to work in a shared office. They will just be talking across, disturbing everybody. And by the time, those people, when everybody is gone at 5, they will stay till 8 and get all their work done in 3 hours. And yet they will spend 7 hours disturbing every colleague and distracting them. And so all these dynamics needs to be worked on. Competence or commitment. Deal with it. If it's a commitment issue, it's an attitude issue, you need to have the wisdom talk. If it's a competence issue, build it or reschedule.
This is it's been a great time with Michael as we touch on managing workplace conflict professionally. A message here says, is it possible to get the audio recording for the conflict at work? Yes, it is possible. We've been live on Facebook. We'll be uploading on YouTube right after this conversation, so you can share with a friend, share with a colleague, because we want to flourish. Eugene, can you respond to this call for me if it's in line with our discussion, so we can take it? Michael, in wrapping up, if I'm giving you 60 seconds, how would you want to wrap up for anyone? They're in the office right now, they're going to work. This conflict has been hanging on their shoulders for a while. Some have tried to address it. It wasn't received well. In 60 seconds, fine, what would you like to share with everyone listening in concerning workplace conflict?
One, don't be afraid to have difficult conversations with colleagues.
Okay.
Choose a time, a place, and have that wisdom talk with that colleague. It doesn't matter if it is a group CEO, it doesn't matter if the head of department, just have that. Let's learn to have the difficult conversations. Number 2, check your language. Don't say you always. I've noticed that. You are wrong. I see it differently. This is your fault. Let's look at what happened. So even the language can lower tensions and clear, so that we can now see eye to eye and resolve the conflict. Let us bear in mind that conflict is inevitable because there will always be disagreements in values, in goals, in perspectives and all. It is the poor management and handling of it that causes us pain. If we can learn to have conflict, we enjoy our working spaces, we enjoy our colleagues much, much better. So one of the things you want to do for yourself this year, build your conflict handling skills, and you would enjoy the workspace.
And if you want to build your conflict handling skills, make sure that you probably listen to this audio again. We have Nanaya Edubia Hammond watching us. Says, work atmosphere has to be conducive and free from hate for work to be effective. I agree with Uncle Michael. Conflicts have to be resolved. God bless Sunny FM for this series. Thank you so much, Michael, for coming through on the second episode of our Flourish series right here on the IM Drive. If you listen, and we hope you've gained the tools that you need to handle workplace conflict professionally going forward. This is the Flourish series right here on the IM Drive. Sunny FM brings you an inspiring and empowering series, Flourish. Join us Monday to